Hi everyone, my name is Vanessa and this will be my Who Am I Now presentation. So to start off with who I have become as a nurse as a result of the CBU College of Nursing program, I want to start first by talking about how 4 years ago, before I was even accepted into the program, I always just had the idea of me working with the pediatric population. So after witnessing my very first normal delivery of my older sister, so there's my little niece over there, I don't know, yeah, I was struck with the idea from God that I actually might be interested in labor and delivery nursing. So pretty much once third semester nursing school rolled around, it really helped me solidify the idea that I want to become an L&D or even a NICU nurse. And despite everything like COVID and the pandemic and the limited time I just had in clinical for the OB rotation, I just really had an amazing instructor who really pushed me out of my comfort zone instead of me just sitting back and like watching things happen. And I just also had a really amazing clinical group to really keep me going in that whole semester. So from that, I knew because I was interested in caring for mothers and babies, I really had to put my foot forward and really ask my nurses to allow me to do things like going in to assess babies' vital signs or just inserting IVs into mothers and all those fun things. And so as a result from all that experience, this resulted in me becoming a nurse that shows initiative towards my instructors and to my nurse, and that I desire to be here. I really believe that I had become a nurse that is eager to learn and a nurse that wants to try new things for patients, even if I've never done it before, because everything's a learning experience, you know. And also as a result from the program, I have learned that to be just more confident in myself and what I know and the skills that I can perform based off everything I've been taught and obtaining throughout nursing school. Skills, you know, such as like giving like flu shots, doing IVs, Foleys. About the Foleys back in first sem, here's us, me and my friends trying to create a catheter insertion with our hands. Anyways, everything, I just learned to be more confident in myself as a nurse. And then kind of going back to what I was mentioning before with COVID, I've also learned, I believe, on how to be accommodating and flexible with time, especially. There were some facilities that couldn't take us students and we just had to do clinical some other ways, so I was able to adjust accordingly and still be able to perform well in clinical. And now talking from a biblical worldview concept or perspective, there's my favorite Bible verse, Jeremiah 29:11, where it says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. This verse actually spoke and dwelled within my heart that whatever good or bad thing that happens to me while I'm in the program, that God's plan is sovereign and that I just need to trust Him and put my faith in Him. I am reminded from the verse that God keeps His promises and that He has me in the program for a reason, and it encourages me because I know that He will make me a nurse eventually and that I really do not need to worry about the steps to get there as long as I'm really putting in my best. And I know pretty much that God wouldn't put anything in my path that He knew I couldn't handle, which reassures me even more as I encounter my adult world nursing career. And yeah, so finally, as I really just reflect back on how I went from this fearful first semester student who just kind of sat back and let opportunities come to me, 5 semesters later now, I'm here doing things on my own, like educating patients, performing skills with, of course, my preceptor's supervision when it comes to invasive things and meds, and even just informing and working together with other nurses on the unit, forming that teamwork collaboration aspect of nursing. I really believe that my friends and my cohort, they just really helped me also to just push myself to get where I am today as a nurse, because just hearing their stories of what they had done in clinical and in school just really pushes me to do what they do. And you know, anyone can learn from anyone, and this is already like a good start to building a teamwork aspect to it. And so yeah, through it all, the most important thing that I could take away from school in general is to just never be afraid to fail and to seek out those learning opportunities instead of sitting back. I really learned that, especially this semester, that it's important to ask questions whenever you don't know how to do something, or if you don't know where something is. It's always good to just ask questions. I honestly believe, in my opinion, that that whenever failure happens, okay, I mean, of course, as long as it's not going to kill the patient, it'll help me grow to become a better nurse than how I was in comparison to yesterday. And so now, as I transition into real life, new graduate nursing things and practices, I know to rely on my team of coworkers that I'll be working with on the unit, for they will help me to also develop my own flow of things and my own techniques when I'm providing care for these patients. And of course, it's still going to be scary, but I mean, everyone knows that a nurse needs to start somewhere in order to get to the place and become the best nurse that they could possibly be. Yeah, that's my presentation, and thank you so much for listening. Have a good day.